Today, we're diving deep into 10 overlooked gems from the 60s that deserve a spot on your watch list. Stick around, because we've got some hidden treasures, twisted tales, and downright astonishing performances that will make you wonder why these films aren't more famous. And hey, if you enjoy these discoveries, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because, let's be honest, your watch list could always use a few more classics. Picture a young Oliver Reed in peak brooding form, strutting through a sun-soaked seaside town, scheming his way through a summer of romantic conquests. Directed by Michael Winner, director of Death Wish, yes, that Death Wish, the system is a sharp, biting social drama about a group of young men who devise a plan to seduce female tourists. These harmless playboy antics morph into something much darker as power dynamics shift, and the so-called system crumbles. With cinematography that oozes style and an undercurrent of cynicism that feels alarmingly modern, this film is criminally underseen. Bonus points for its French New Wave energy despite being undeniably British. Director Frank Perry, from Diary of a Mad Housewife, delivers a slow-burning psychological gut punch with Ladybug Ladybug. Inspired by a real-life false alarm during the Cold War, this chilling drama follows a group of schoolchildren and their teacher as they react to an emergency drill that might be real. As paranoia sets in, the film becomes an unrelenting descent into dread, human fear, and fragility. In A Man Called Adam, Sammy Davis Jr. delivers one of his most ferociously raw performances, playing a brilliant but self-destructive jazz musician struggling with personal demons, racism, and the bottle. This is a jazz movie that actually understands jazz, with a stellar supporting cast including Ossie Davis, Cicely Tyson, and Louis Armstrong in a rare acting role. The film has all the sweaty, claustrophobic energy of a nightclub at 2 a.m., and if you love movies about tortured geniuses, this should be at the top of your queue. Forget everything you think you know about sentimental romance. David and Lisa is pure, unfiltered heartbreak. Directed by Frank Perry, yes, again. This low-budget indie darling tells the tender yet haunting story of two teens in a mental institution. David, who's obsessed with precision and control, and Lisa, who only speaks in rhymes. What could have been exploitative turns into a deeply humane portrayal of mental illness, bolstered by mesmerizing performances from Keir Dullea and Janet Margulin. It's a film that quietly devastates you, leaving you thinking about it for days. Dirk Bogarde delivers an absolutely gripping performance as a successful barrister, whose secret past puts him at the center of a blackmail scheme. The film explores the criminalization of homosexuality, the cost of living a double life, and the courage it takes to defy societal norms in a way that still feels unsettlingly relevant. Bogarde, in a career-defining role, brings quiet intensity to a man torn between fear and integrity, and the tension builds with every revelation. If you love bold, socially conscious dramas, you need to see this. Harold Pinter's dialogue isn't meant to be comfortable. The Birthday Party is a fever dream of claustrophobic paranoia, a film where words cut deeper than knives. Starring Robert Shaw before Jaws, this adaptation of Pinter's play follows a seemingly ordinary birthday celebration that spirals into a surreal, existential nightmare. Are these visitors here for a party, or are they something far more sinister? The film never gives easy answers, and that's precisely why it sticks with you like a bad dream. Demonic possession movies didn't start with The Exorcist. This stark, haunting Polish masterpiece takes inspiration from the infamous Ludun possessions, where an entire convent was supposedly taken over by spirits. What follows is a slow, cerebral descent into religious hysteria, repression, and moral ambiguity. With its striking black-and-white cinematography and unshakable atmosphere, Mother Joan of the Angels is an art-house horror experience like no other. Ken Russell also directed a version of this story in 1971 called The Devils. But that's for another video. Before Raging Bull, before Rocky, there was Requiem for a heavyweight. Anthony Quinn plays a washed-up boxer who's too injured to keep fighting but too lost to do anything else. With Jackie Gleason as his morally conflicted manager and Mickey Rooney in an uncharacteristically serious role, this film is a tragic, unsentimental look at the brutal reality of the fight game. If you love character studies that leave you emotionally wrecked, this is your movie. This jazzy existential thriller stars Warren Beatty as a comedian on the run from the mob, or is he? Arthur Penn crafts a film that's as visually stunning as it is narratively perplexing. It's Kafka meets 1960s cool, a feverish nightmare of paranoia, identity crises, and avant-garde stylings that still feel shockingly fresh. Mickey 1 is essentially an edgy film where subtle nuances and vocal inflections take center stage. Why isn't King Rat considered one of the great war films? Maybe because it refuses to play by the rules. This cynical anti-war drama follows a group of POWs in a Japanese prison camp, where the true enemy isn't necessarily the captors, it's the men themselves. George Segal gives a crucial performance as a morally ambiguous survivor, and the film's psychological depth and brutal honesty make it unforgettable. If you thought The Bridge on the River Kwai was too noble, King Rat is the antidote. And that's our list. But now it's your turn. What underrated 60s films do you think deserve more attention? Drop your picks in the comments. And while you're here, why not check out our other movie playlists? You might just discover your new favorite film. See you in the next one.